the end of game 1 each week just always seems to happen like that, doesn't it? It was last week we had Rated R going up against OB. It was 7-6, absolute crazy end. And once again, OB Alliance involved, but this time on the wrong end of the stick. EU's finest get the better of them this time round. Thanks to an insane high drone push through smoke. We were just having a bit of a Twitter conversation with the players there, and Breaker's just like, we had 3 down, I had shock, we had drop. We were sitting back, big chilling. He runs through the smoke. Didn't catch him with any Lancer fire because Breaker says he comes in with the melee as well. And he hasn't went down, and he finds 3 kills. It's just one of them that you're not likely to see much other stuff like that again.
It's going to sting.
That's really going to sting. If any way to lose, that's probably one of the worst ways to do it if you are OB Alliance. A tough one for them to take, but I'm sure they will bounce back. However, we'll put that game in the back of our minds because we do indeed have a Rated R up against RDamage. Far too many R's in these team names, by the way, when they're going up against each other. Really going to get confusing. If I make the wrong call, then I do apologise straight away. But let's go into picks and bans because I know that we do already have them available as we are starting into this game. So Exhibit is gone. Icebound is gone. Asylum picked by RDamage. District is in from Rated R. So the first time we'll see District, if I'm correct. Vasgar and Training Ground's gone. So we will see Bunker third if we indeed get there. First thoughts? I know we haven't seen District yet, so it's hard to really predict anything on that.
It's one of the maps that has been banned out in every series so far. So yeah, great to see District. It's the only map we've not seen so far. So it's going to be great to see that played by 2 fantastic teams. Let's go through them. Exhibit, no surprise there. RDamage looked pretty good against OB, not against EU's finest. No, but I think they looked better against EU's finest on Exhibit than they did on Asylum.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Maybe not. Maybe about the same. But either way, Exhibit, Asylum are the only 2 maps that RDamage have played. Yeah. So banning one of those out kind of makes sense, I guess. On the other side, Rated R, they look fantastic on Icebound the times they played it. So fair enough, get rid of that. And I think no brainer there by RDamage just to pick Asylum. They looked okay on it before. And Rated R, bringing in that District pick, so that's freshening things up a little bit here, and we'll see how that one plays out. We don't really have much data to go on. Vasgar, Rated R, they lost on it last week. So
and then we're going to get Bunker, which they did lose on last week as well, but they did actually pick that against OB Alliance. So
it was RDamage's choice this time around. They're right between Training Grounds and Bunker. So
I don't think I think if you look at this, I think if you're Rated R, you're pretty happy, I want to say. Yeah, you would have probably liked Icebound to sneak through, to be honest with you. But, I mean, if you're doing your homework, I'm not surprised to see that gone. And at the end there, Bunker, they did pick it last week, but they also lost it last week. So that's, we'll see how they perform, I guess. That's really a question for Game 3 if we get there. Yeah, and for RDamage here, I think the story has to be, a bounce back. Because we seen them week 1 against OB Alliance. They came through as the team that qualified via the ladder. So the 4th team to qualify, and they looked really good against OB Alliance. They looked really, really good. Against EU's finest last week, it was so different. They really did not look good at all. Similar scoreline to what we just seen against OB. I think it was 7-4 in the second map, but either way, relatively close. But let's get into this one. It is going to be RDamage going up against Rated R. RDamage playing this map twice already and winning it once. Of course, the other time they did play it was against the EU's finest, so you can forgive them for that second loss. But Rated R now going into Asylum for the first time in the EU Pro League. Let's see what they can get done here. It's going to be an interesting one, I think. I think this is either going to be a super close RDamage win or Rated R are going to walk through them and win 2-0.
I'm going to assume Rated R are not going to just roll over here, and if they do not do that, I kind of think we might see another 2-0 for Rated R, to be honest with you. They've come through and they've beat RDamage a few times in the qualifiers to make it to that second place qualification slot, and well, they look good doing it, to be honest with you.
They may just have the matchup here against RDamage. And the way that it's going to start is actually in RDamage's favour. Most of the kills going over towards B. And if this first initial gunfight is anything to go by, then maybe we've got a cracker on our hands. Dragons is going to find 2. Got to give him some more. Not quite. He will go down. He does well to find that. But eventually, it is RDamage who walk away with B. But they have lost their home hill, A and C, belonging to Rated R.
Yeah, I mean that was fantastic. A double kill already, almost a triple. If there hadn't been that member from RDamage so close, it could have been a quad as well. But honestly, fantastic play by Dragons just to keep his team. That could have been devastating, that opening round. And because of that play, it's not. It's not bad actually. And great play by Rated R to come over and get that home hill as well in the midst of all that. So in the end of things, Rated R are up. RDamage have the hills. Things back to pretty much even.
Back to where it was looking like it was going to be after those first initial gunfights. Lunda's now going to have to back off as
Rita gets aggressive. I tell you what, most of these gunfights, it seems as if RDamage are really wanting to play Rated R at their own game here.
Yeah, they are.
Getting very, very aggressive and very much in their face. If you're Leonard, you back on down and just stay alive for your team here. You have managed to, as I said, get a hold of B, but they are actually going to lose both here if they're not very, very careful. Zorkos is going to take down Dove. And Leonard now not in the best of spots to try and win this gunfight. Rita going to back on down and does find the kill on the Leonard. Good stuff from him. Rita was well and truly at the bottom of the eliminations leaderboard after the first 2 weeks. And we did actually see quite a lot from him in week number 1, a couple of clutch plays. So can he continue to do this time round?
Let's have a look, I guess. Let's have a look at the scoreboard very quickly. We are seeing a great contribution there by Dragons in this opening round. 5 kills already, so starting off well, but does get taken down here by Rita, and looks like he's going to get picked up and reply. Jump on board with him and see what we can do. Sergio here trying to find a couple of kills, bouncing left and right.
So well to stay alive.
He's forced his opposition to kill their own teammate in that fight. They do clean up in the end. Zorkos coming in with a nice little kill, and obviously Dragons falling there as well. Strikers, but yeah, I mean, that's the potential that Rated R have, right? They have that raw skill, and they can make you miss shots. They can make you kill your own teammate in some situations, and they really do put the pressure on you. But RDamage, they're matching that pressure right now, and this is old school RDamage. They're firing for each other very, very well. Just holding out, strangling out, and seeing here, a couple of kills onto Sergio. Dov's gonna fall, and now Zorkos looking for his 3rd kill on Toast. As they really are just killing things out. But again, Dragons on his own. See if he can pick up another kill. Let's jump on board with him this time. He does fall. Goes to the commentator, I guess, as that round looks to be going over to the not the COG team, the Swarm team. RDamage opening up.
RDamage getting things done. And if that round is anything to say about the rest of these rounds, hopefully it continues in that vein. It was none of this sit 2 home hills and just strangle them out and play the Lancer. It was very much a, right, let's get fast and furious here. Let's get down and dirty. And indeed, they did try. They did try, Rated R, to get back into that round, but RDamage will be the ones to take it. Nothing crazy going to come in initially here anyway. It will just indeed probably be flashbangs being placed down. It will be the case. And imagine to see them upgraded to shocks later on after some of the play that we've seen last time round. Will we see any mid drops? I'm curious, but
it'll be interesting to see for sure. See if all teams are kind of evolving their strategy a little bit. But whether we will or not, I'm not too sure. I think these teams will be quite happy to fight this out on even terms.
Dove is going to get killed on get a drop onto physics, and a couple of drops a piece here from both 2 teams. It's looking like it is going to be RDamage just about with the advantage, and they will back on down. They don't have a hold of B yet, but they may well be able to get some map control here. It's actually a C push coming in from RDamage by the looks of things. Well, they're capturing B as well. They found the kills across the board. This could be a domination coming through. It will be a domination coming through unless Toast can get there. He just about does in time and will find the kill as well. So just about for Rated R, you survive this one. And especially, actually, you have to be careful here if you're RDamage not to overextend in that situation, but I think it's so far back that they should just be fine.
Yeah, they're fighting here on the Rated R home hill, and they've got that fantastic setup through Pavilion, which is just going to prevent anyone coming through this middle. As you say that, Dragons gets taken out, didn't check his corners, and, well, Rita's there to make him pay. Gonna look for his second in the same situation as well. 2 more members of Rated R pushing down to Pavilion now. It looks like they've realized their mistake. They're going to back out a little bit. The rotation does come round, and Strikers is going to fall on tracks. It is up to Toast maybe to try and take him out. Does get the re-down. Rita trying to make this play again. Toast takes out 1. He's going to get taken out himself by Strikers, who gets traded out by Dove. Dove trying to get another one. Revive comes in. Is it going to be a 3rd? I'm not too sure. Dragons has taken out his teammate, but does get the kill on physics as well. And, well, this is just Dragons. He's killing everything. Doesn't matter if his teammate is not taking any prisoners. Sadly, that's including his own teammates here.
The Dragons not able to quite get it done. The domination being threatened by RDamage. It may well come through here unless Leonard can make the push over towards B. And it just comes down to winning those trades and using the advantages. RDamage 2-0 up now against Rated R. Looking good. They're playing that Fast and Furious game. They're playing that shotgun battle constantly. And they're beating Rated R to it at the moment.
I want to draw attention to the scoreboard very quickly and point out the difference here is you can see
one elimination for Leonard yet.
Exactly. Leonard, he's on 0. Sergio's on 1. Toast is on 2. And honestly, they're not shooting for each other. They're trying to find kills themselves. Even the kills that Dragon has on his name, they've all been solo kills, right? They've been him against the world, just trying to fight for those kills. And he has got some nice doubles, some nice triples, but, well, it's not enough. The whole of the team has to be contributing, and we can see that from RDamage. We can't see it from Rated R just yet. Long time to go yet, though.
Long time indeed. Very, very much agreed. As Dov finds the first drop on the physics, and I imagine he will probably get picked up down in the middle, as said. Zorkos is going to drop Sergio as well. Here comes the push from Dov. Let the bodies hit the floor in the middle. Good lord, everybody dropping. And it is actually in the favor of Rated R, but he is going to get caught by Rita. That's an important kill by him. He may actually not stop anything over towards B, of course, but it could have been a lot worse. Rita finding another nice play by RDamage. This could be an overextension by Rated R as RDamage make use of that position here. Find a couple of kills up top, over towards the bridge, and they will just push that home hill very, very simply. Toast now in a really bad spot. Fire coming in from all different angles. He gets wiped out by a train. This could be a domination if Rita and Co can find this final kill. Dov will just about save Rated R's blushes, though, and they will have to back on down, but really good work by RDamage there.
It was pretty much all Rita just understanding the aggression that Rated R were pushing into that push. We saw Rated R, they got a couple of kills down. They had complete advantage in that middle. There was a fight going up top that they could have wrapped around and maybe picked up another kill on as well. But in the end, Rita just understands that that push is going to come through. Holds the corner, gets the first kill. Decides that, okay, I could go up and I could fight that 2v1 with my teammate. Instead, he backs back down, he holds the second corner, and again, another member of Rated R just runs straight into it, and it's easy pickings for Rita. He's been around this game long enough to understand these kind of plays and understand these kind of players. And right there, that's why he's always been at the top of the game. He's just so good at reading the game.
Very much reading it well so far. RDamage in a good position to go 3-0 up here. And it's really not the start that I expected. Honestly, I mean, this is looking like a potential domination, although Sergio will shut that down very, very quickly. And this may swing back towards Rated R as a B cap is looking likely. Sergio coming to help with some Lancer fire here. But it's been a surprising start, in all honesty. It has mostly been RDamage. Sergio trying to get things done here, though. Will drop physics twice and will find the kill on the strikers as well. Nicely done by Sergio. And he will make that push over towards C. Did he see that other player coming up from RDamage on that side? Doesn't have time to quite get the decap. Nice movement in and around the point, but there will be support there now. Sergio haphazardly makes the push through and will just sacrifice his life for very, very little. We can see another player from Rated R getting aggressive in a 1v3. He's going to have to back on down, and here comes the home hill push coming out of RDamage this time, bro.
Yeah, it's so quick to rotate between these two hills that honestly, if you give up 2 kills on your own home, you may on their home, sorry, you may as well give up your own home as well. I mean, you can see it right now. Dov really stood no chance. He was in a 3v1 situation, and his teammates pushing in on their own. They cost him his life. Leonard, he's done well to get over here. He's managed to get that decap, and he is drawing attention. Rita, though, going to try and take that kill. Leonard does pick up 1, and that's a great kill, extending the round for his team. You can see the points are in the favor of Swarm. Swarm are going to win in 30 seconds, but if Leonard can get this kill, if they can get round to this B hill, they may have done enough just to win this round right at the very end. Shot grenade's going to come out. Leonard's just got to stop this cap.
Needs to stop the cap, but Zorkos has done very, very well to stay alive in this situation, trying to pick him up, and Toast is eventually going to trade that one out. Rita is here, though, to try and shut things down. The Cog domination is denied, but they will win in 30, so this is Rated R's to lose. Here comes the push. Dragon's going to find 1. Strikers will find the second. Have they got enough time on the board to win it with 1?
They don't have enough time to win it with 1, but they are going to get this decap. If they get the decap, it doesn't matter. They are going to get a decap on both hills, though. That is what matters. And Leonard, even if he wins this fight now, he's not done enough. His team haven't done enough just to hold RDamage off. And RDamage, right at the last moment, going to clutch that up. 3-0 up now. And that was a fantastic comeback from what looked to be a completely over round there. Rated R, they looked like they'd done everything. In the end, just wasn't quite enough, but much, much better. Much better.
Knocking the wind out of the sails of Rated R, who are threatening a comeback there themselves in this game. RDamage have really been uncontested here so far. Look at the eliminations, very much in the favour of RDamage here. And that's what you feel like you need to do against Rated R. You just need to go and slay against them, and they are getting the job done here. 3-0 now. Drop shots placed either side of things. Nothing too crazy just yet. Not quite those middle drops that were coming in from EU's finest and Obey Alliance in that last game.
Not quite.
We might see that yet, though.
We might. There's obviously the question of does the boom shot go down in that middle? Do we play for something different? Maybe like the sniper? We'll see. We've got a long time to go yet, but my theory still stands that we're going to see a very even game here. We're going to see the same placements from both sides.
Kills initially coming in from Rated R, probably for the first time here. It's mostly been RDamage winning these initial. Striker's trying to get something done. He's done so well to actually stay alive as long as he has. How has he not found a kill? Finding his shotgun in places where you would expect them to at least be finding something. Striker's now finding himself all alone on train tracks. The only company he does indeed have is Sergio, who has been dropped. He should find this kill, but okay, he didn't find too many kills himself off the initial few fights, but he stayed alive and he's helped his team get a hold of B here.
And we've talked about it before in previous games with RDamage. Strikers, he is that top level competitor. He's got a technical skill set that can match any at the top of the game. Anyone over in the North American Pro Circuit, Latin American Pro Circuit, here in Europe, or, you know, elsewhere in the globe as well. He is one of the top players, and it is little points in the game like that that really shine his ability. That's another great kill by Leonard, but it really does show his ability off, and well, just his movement alone basically turned that round around for RDamage, gave his team time to return off spawn.
The bad spot now though is he's gonna get taken out by Toast. Combination of him and Leonard now just holding this one down. Shot's going to come out there, but Leonard now is going to get shot from up top. Physics is going to be able to clean this one up as well. So good work from RDamage. They're still in this one, but they have to be careful not to be dominated here. They have to be so careful. The kills are going to come in RDamage's favor, and they will just about hold on. So these next few gunfights are important for Rated R now. They're going to get pushed out of control here if they can't lock down these sites. Toast is going to have to back on down. He's taking a chunk of Lancer fire as well, but here come the rest of Rated R. But what was nearly a win condition for Rated R to get on the board has turned into a control for RDamage.
Rated R really should be moving a little bit quicker away from the train tracks now. You see the train come in. They know they have two members of RDamage trapped on those tracks, and they could have pincered up top while that was happening. While I say that, though, it looks like they've made this push on B just after the trains have gone. Leonard picks up one, picks up two. Reader falls. And honestly, this is good play by the COG team. They've got 30 seconds on that clock. They're about to lock in another ring right about now. They should be able to take this round if they can just keep getting these kills. The drop shots are back up, and this is the test now: is can they land these shots?
It's going to come down to who does. Although if you're RDamage, you're the ones that need to get it done quicker here. And then also not a lot of activity over towards B. So is it a home hill push coming out of RDamage? It's looking that way. C is now being decapped, but if you are Rated R, one will be enough, yeah, you feel? Physics is going to get taken down.
Should be enough. I mean, the train came in right the perfect moment, really, for Rated R, as it just blocks off any push, really, from RDamage. And, well, 3-1. RDamage looking good to start with, but Rated R, a little bit of life coming back into this in the fourth round, and hopefully we'll see a little bit more of that as things start to maybe even up towards the half. Kills starting to even up a little bit after that last round.
Yeah, Rated R maybe just a little bit slow off the start. I've definitely found their form a little bit more in that past round or two. RDamage, as said, still with the lead though of 3-1. Drop shot placed. Once again, that is just halving it in time, so we'll respawn now in 75 seconds instead of 150, and that is mirrored on the other side of things by RDamage. 3-1 now, as said. Respawns now 12 seconds. Anybody playing with fire with their respawns? Zorkos 1 out of 5. Sergio 1 out of 5. Toast has only got 1 as well.
And Dove and Dragons. Everyone's
still a couple of rounds to go here as well. They have to be careful.
They do indeed. A couple of kills here and there could really cost it for their team. So keep an eye on those players with the low lives. It's only really Leonard that's.
I was thinking to myself that, you know, there's been a lot of engagements here.
That they have.
And really, look at the side of Rated R. They need to have a clean round here, in all honesty, and that's why we're maybe seeing things slow down from their end.
Yeah, on the opposite side, RDamage, pretty much one more life per person to play with, minus Zorkos.
That's a drop shot kill.
Very, very close. Toasty recognized it. He's going to get pushed, though, so he's going to have to give up that bridge control.
And a much slower round coming out of these two teams here. Recognizing the risk, if you are Rated R, of going into these 50-50 gunfights. And choosing just to play around your drop shot. That should find a kill at the strikers. It will do. Can't quite get out in time. So B should now go over towards Rated R. Reader in the middle, though, is trying to get something done and will get away. But he has just delayed that push for just a little bit. B will eventually be captured. by Rated R, who are now in the driving seat in this round. It's good shots on the physics once again by Dragons, who really has probably been the most electric player here for Rated R. The movement's been fantastic. It's a good flash grenade to maybe shove off the push of Strikers. And he's such a good player to watch here, Dragons. Fantastic work by him and Leonard now to get a hold of C. This may well be a Rated R round, although the extension has come through over towards it. So they will just about slow this one down through Zokos, who will go down himself, but Cog with the win condition here.
That they do. Having a look at what Dragons is still trying to do on his screen. He's fighting two members here. Is able to get one, sorry, as he picks up that knife. I thought he was going to get knifed down, but in the end doesn't. Looking for his second as he flicks off that shot. Just misses the majority of the pellets there, which gave Strikers a window, but fantastic play once again by Dragons. One of those players that, you know, we watched all the way through Gears of War 4 as he came up on that Spanish roster with Regal, and he really gave it to a lot of the top European teams and really pushed that team up into the top 3. And now, again, on Gears 5, fighting in this Pro League, and is, well, it's a fantastic team as well, Rated R. It's not the same team by any means. It's a completely different team, but they found that top spot again, and Dragons, he's a big part of it.
Sergio's now able to find anything with the drop shot and will go down without finding much himself. Actually, an RDamage turn it down on at the end of the round here. They're capturing B as well, and that's why they sent so many people over here. They've got one to decap the home hill of Rated R. And the kills are starting to flow in RDamage's favour. They haven't quite captured B, but Rated R might have just done enough to defend this one here. Trying to get his teammate up, and he's going to go down on the way of trying to finish. I think it was Relay he was trying to finish. Now it's Sergio to try and defend A all on his own. We can see Rated R, they're not respawning back up because they can't. Sergio has to go massive. This should be a round for RDamage. It will be a round for RDamage. Just not enough lives on the board. And if you're Rated R, you've just maybe expensed far too many of them. That's the problem. They've pushed far too aggressive. They've lost the gunfights, and that's why they find themselves in that position in round number 5.
That's it. You got to be more careful, especially when your opposition has that advantage in terms of lives.
The thing is, for Rated R, though, they had the advantage in the game, and then just suddenly lose a couple of gunfights, and suddenly you're in a bad spot.
They did lose it. I mean, if you look at the respawns in this round, Rated R now actually in an advantageous position, but quite honestly, 4-2, it doesn't really matter at this point. You're still going into the half down. We'll see what happens in terms of the placements.
I'd expect Leonard being the only one to get aggressive here. I think the rest of it, Rated R, will probably try to play around. What he's going to do is...
You'd assume, right?
Yeah, I mean, I said the round, the lives will reset at the end of this round. Thank you for the in-game prompt either way. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting round. I expect another slow one. It's going to come down to picks, potentially with the drop shot. Here comes the flashes out from Leonard, who actually going to put the smokes out, I should say. And now they're going to make this push over towards B, and he's the one getting aggressive, as said. He's the one with those lives. He's the expendable soldier, if you like, as he is going to go down. Rita is going to find him, and I think if you're Rated R, you're happy that it's only him going down, but Dragons is going to go down. He's out of this round. We said it might be a slow burner. I don't think it will be, as everybody just seems to be dropping. And as more players for Rated R drop, the easier this gets for RDamage. They do have one more, of course, but they're putting themselves in a position where they do not have much to play with here.
That's it. It's all about that resource, right? And if they do lose it once again, then yes, then it becomes super easy to RDamage. And whilst you do have that respawn on 1 life, but when you get to 0, your mentality changes, right? You've got to be much more careful. You've got to really be taking stock of exactly what's happening around you, what exactly you are doing, and one little mistake could be the end of your round.
And the thing is here for them as well, if you are Rated R, you're in the position where you have to make the push here. RDamage don't have to do anything. They just have to sit back, hold A, hold B. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, you're 5-1 up.
That's it. That's it. And the drop shot is going to make that ever so easier as well. They're going to put it in Zorkos' hand. It makes sense, right? He's on 0 respawn, so give him the longest range weapon so he doesn't have to be right up there in those fights. I think that's a good idea. Reader, again, he's down to 0, so is Cougars, so this could come down to it. Obviously, we have to see Rated R make that push, though, so let's have a look at what they're doing. Let's jump on board with Toast. He's the furthest up so far. Good Lancer there. Does manage to get down. Drop shot going to come out. Does take out Toast.
Oh, is he going to pay for it, though? It's the bait. There's Dragons finds 2. They put him down with the Lancer Fire and just wait for the push to come through on the revive. That's 2 members gone out of this game now for RDamage. Sergio's out on the other side of things, and Leonard is about to respawn back up. Toast is going to find physics as well. So Physics does actually have a respawn. Dov's going to find Cougars, though. He doesn't. This should be a round over towards Rated R.
Ooh, the train almost
was there. That would have been Dov out of the game as well.
Yeah, that's it.
He is going to move over to help his teammate up. They will capture B. And this is momentarily 2v4. Not out of the question if you're Physics and Strikers here, but very, very hard.
It is. I mean,
if they can find a kill on
that's it, right? Anyone really.
Yeah.
They've all got 0 lives. This basically is a game of execution at this point. They've got to find the kills. We've seen players clutch it up in these situations before.
I think if you're Rated R, you just have to maybe play it together to a point, but you have to be careful of the drop shot.
This is why you got to be extremely careful here. One pick by this drop shot could open up the entire map.
Physics is going to have to do something, but Dov is going to take down Strikers now. Physics, technically, in a 1v4. Is he going to find anything on the Dragons here? Yes, he is. There's one, so 1v3 now. The problem is here is that there's a drop shot on the other side of things as well, and Toast will...
There's the drop shot.
Just end the hopes and dreams of RDamage in that round. 4-2 now.
I thought we were going to see our first Pro League clutch there. Like
he'd have done well.
End of round clutch. Yeah, he would have done.
I just don't think he would have had the time either, though, even if he captures B in that situation.
Yeah,
I just don't think he has the time.
You're running out of time a bit. Maybe if he'd have connected with the drop shot earlier on, he might be able to get one more kill, but even still, to just kill all 4 members, definitely not.
There was hope for a second, but here we go, into the half, and the points now will reset. We will move over towards the bridge side, where we've seen so much entertaining Gears of War in the last map that we did indeed see. Between EU's finest Snowmobile Alliance, that's a good drop shot over towards the side. Not going to quite connect from Dragons, though. Look, destined for a kill or 2.
Yeah, good damage points. You saw the little crosshair pop up there, Rita. You got taken pretty low, as did Cougars, but just not close enough to anyone, really. Now we see Zorkos. He's fighting in the smoke. Strikers fires across that drop shot, gets a kill on Sergio, and now the push comes in from Rated R. They're just trying to catch Zorkos off guard, but Zorkos doing very, very well here, just holding his ground, holding the entranceway, and takes the meat shield as well as his prize.
Toast is last alive for Rated R momentarily, and we'll be just trying to stay alive around his spawn. Not going to happen, though. Sergio is going to find 2, though. Really nice work from him, and that was essential. It was looking like D was going to get captured by RDamage. He stays alive, and he will get taken back up and find Zorkos as well. Nice stuff from Sergio. And he's the one for me. Whenever I watch him, he seems to play fantastic Gears of War. How quick he is, the movement. He's just constantly cracked out of his mind flying around the map. Love to see it from him. Dov's going to find a kill up top as well, so they should be able to keep a hold of E. They will do. The points deficit belongs to RDamage. But Rated R should be able to catch back up fairly quickly.
Should be able to. They should be able to get a kill on Cougars as well, as he's trapped in no man's land right in the middle of the pavilion. Sergi now, another 1v1 against Strikers. Let's see how he can play this one. He's behind him. Sergio just get flipped on those Strikers. Basically a straight 180. Looks like he's playing with a mouse. He just turns around instantly.
Is that Toby Campbell?
someone get a test out there. Let's find out. No, I'm sure it's not Toby. Toasters get one. Dov gets another. There's beautiful double kill from Zorkos with this drop shot. Looking for his 3rd as well. He's pushing up on Dragons. Decides that the ring is going to be his prize, though. A return drop shot isn't quite on point. Cougars gets taken down for it, though. Dragon's going to look for his 2nd. Does get the kill on Zorkos. And now, Cog domination. Not Cog domination anymore, sorry. Cog victory in 50 seconds.
Still plenty of time. Still plenty of time for RDamage to get back into this round. There's been a lot of slaying going on once again, though, from both teams this time round. So a couple of players actually down to 2 respawns off the back of 1 round, so not having the best time of things.
Drop shots up in 10 seconds.
Here comes the push over towards E if you are RDamage. Striker's going to get the kill on the Dove, and these kills just about being traded in RDamage's favor, so they will probably get the win condition of this, I would say, over towards E. It should just be enough, and it will be. It's very, very close. It's going to come down to 1 hill.
It's about 10 seconds in it. 1 decap could flip this over, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. It looks like Swarm are just going to go all the way and attempt for this domination. Reader using that new little technical skill you got in Gears 5, bouncing backwards there just to dodge a shot. Great shot on Dov as well. Should be able to pick up this kill. That's a misplay by Toast, and he's going to get taken out. They're going to get taken out. Rated R going to get taken out, and this D hill definitely going to go the way of RDamage. The E hill, however, is going to get taken out. It's not really going to make much difference.
I mean, I'm not too sure why he's killed Reader there, but either way, Physics is going to send him to the respawn queue. 5-2 now.
We'll have to check those revives after, because if he's on anything lower than 5 when he comes back in, then Physics has done him a disservice there.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of those, wasn't it? It was like, yeah, I mean, I know you're 5-2 up, but
yeah.
Imagine if it comes back to bite them. Either way.
That's a scratch of the head moment, isn't it? I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Trigger happy. Either way, let's see what the weapon placements come through. Disable coming down on the drop shot. Fully expect it to be the exact same thing on the other side of things, and it will be as we now go into the next round. 5-2 RDamage, though, looking good for them. This is potentially a quick one for RDamage. And the thing is, with all these rounds as well, the rounds have been relatively quick. I don't feel like we've been on Asylum for more than 10 minutes at this point, and we're into round number 8. So
yeah, those last 3 rounds of the previous series felt longer than these 8. To be honest with you.
Physics going to find the first kill on Leonard, though, so Rated R once again on the back foot. And RDamage just seem to be playing them at their own game and beating them at their own game as Dragons kills another teammate. He's going to drop Physics, but that's just about it. As Rita does answer back with a kill of his own, so Sergio has to back on down. Another really, really good start by RDamage.
Yeah, Rita there picking up the kill. Not afraid to push that 1v1. He knew he had a little bit of damage on Sergio. And now, with his team, he's going to push for this home hill. And once again, they're going to threaten for this domination. Rated R, they've got to fight this out. Dragons does manage to get it down. Dove as well. But RDamage, they're still in the game. They've still managed to get those revives. Cougars picks up a kill. Rita picks up a second. And this looks like RDamage maybe locking in another round. The domination is denied for just a second as Dove gets a touch in the ring, but doesn't matter in the end. RDamage comes through. 6-2 now. They're on map point, and they've looked fantastic throughout this first map in Asylum.
They have. The majority of their rounds have been fairly dominant as well. 6-2. This lane has come a little closer than it was, but it really is well and truly in the favor of RDamage, though it was worse than this at one point during this game. But look at that, across the board as well, fairly even outside of Strikers and Reader, of course, about 10 ahead of their teammates, but across the board, not too many disparities. The other side of things, though, somebody who was so good for Rated R last week against albeit in a loss, Sergio, with only 22.
You got to look at his deaths at the same time as well.
Yeah.
He's rocking basically a 1.0 KDA there, obviously just ever so slightly over, but not what you expect from him. And he is getting shut down, to be honest with you. Incendiary's coming in on that bottom side of the map, mirrored once again. So again, we'll see this fight go on. Sergio, beautiful movement there. Gonna look for his second, I'm pretty sure. Doesn't manage to get that first shot. Just throwing out shots into the wild. Bouncing his way down. His teammate's going to go in there as well. But Dragons, he can't get the kill. And now RDamage, they're going to reply. The Incendiary is down. Cougars has managed to down Toast over on the other side of the map. So if Leonard can't do anything about this, this probably is going to be RDamage's round. Let's have a look over at the other side of things. It is going to be over. RDamage are going to win. They're going to take this first map 7-2. And honestly, they look very strong doing it.
That was very, very quick. Nice stuff from RDamage. 7-2. And they'll be very, very happy with that. Much better from them. And they're so topsy-turvy. Like last week when we seen them against EU's finest, we saw nothing. We didn't even see a spark from them. No. Maybe on exhibit towards the end of the map where they were threatening a comeback at best, but that was so much better. That was like the RDamage that we've seen play up against OB in week number 1.
That's how they looked when they played Asylum in that first time round. They did play the map extremely well. They slayed out where they needed to. They were on the other team's home hill pretty much constantly. And well, yeah, I mean, you saw it again right there. Fantastic play by them and throwing any predictions up in the air, that's for sure.
Yeah, God knows what happens in this one. Now, honestly, I as I said at the beginning of this match, I thought it was going to be either a quick Rated R win with a 2-0, like a convincing scoreline, like a 7-2 like that, or it was going to be a ground-out win from RDamage. I just think that you think of RDamage typically, and they will play that maybe a little bit slower than Rated R play, but they went to match fire with fire there, and they won.
Well. Yeah. And to be honest, maybe this is the new addition, right? Cougars is coming in. He's changed up the style of RDamage a little bit. He's a little bit more of a slaying presence, I think, than the previous member. And honestly, he's able to match that Rated R squad in terms of skill, as are the rest of the RDamage members. And in the end, they took it to them. And the games they played before were not with Cougars in that roster. Mm-hmm. So maybe this is a bit different. And RDamage, they've been on the up for sure. Maybe a new look RDamage. And exciting things to come for sure, especially if they play like that in this map.
Well, we'll see map number 2 very, very shortly. We will be going over towards a district. This is how the first map did indeed unfold. 72 to RDamage on Asylum. Got down and dirty with the Nashers, very up close and personal up against Rated R, which you would expect to maybe not be the game that you want to play against them, but they get away with it either way in convincing fashion. 7-2 as said. We will be moving on to District for the first time in the EU Pro League. Mm-hmm. Haven't seen this one yet. What are we expecting when we think of District? A lot of Lancer fire, a lot of cover up from the mid side of things, and it has a bit of everything though, doesn't it?
It has a bit of everything. It's quite heavy on those initials, to be honest with you. It kind of plays into Rated R's playstyle, you would have thought, but after that first match, actually maybe this is what RDamage are looking for here, and well, District is definitely an exciting one. We saw it in that E-League Invitational at the start of Gears 5. We've seen it a few times in the run-up to them in the qualifiers, but yeah, first time in the Pro League. I don't think this could be a better match of teams as well to play this on. I'm super excited to see what happens there.
Yeah, we'll jump into it very, very shortly. What's the predictions then? After you see map number 1, you can't really side with anything else but RDamage. It wasn't even like... Yeah, they outplayed them to the point of where, they out-rotated better, etc., but they just slayed them off the map completely more than anything.
They did. They got rid of them. And, well, you asked me for the prediction. I have to go with RDamage.
100%.
Everything so far, all the games so far, whoever's won the first map has won the second map. It's hugely momentum-based Gears of War, and quite honestly, we've not seen anything different. We've seen some close game 2s, but in the end, the team that won the first match has always won their second match. Rated R, prove me wrong. Go for that game 3. I don't mind. But yeah, you have to side with RDamage, I guess, especially after such a dominant performance.
100%. We'll be loading into District very, very shortly, and it's interesting to see that Rated R all the way from week number 1 when they beat EU's finest. We had so much hope for them, didn't we?
Yes.
We seen that performance, and it wasn't just beating EU's finest. I mean, they give them a good old drubbing, to be honest with you, and on. You would have thought we'd see more from them, but last week, a tight game against Obey Alliance. It's going to be a tough one to take. And then going up against RDamage, not a good start. Do you think it's maybe just a case of confidence after that loss last week?
I've been thinking this over as well, because I've been looking at this team, and they came into the qualification tournaments very, very fresh. They were a 2-week team. They didn't even play in the first qualification tournament. That's how new they were. And then they came in, and then they slayed everyone. And you look at it, and you go, wow, this is, this is their week 1 performance.
Yeah.
Where are they going up to after this? That was the question we asked.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just honeymoon period, and
it's actually
now they're they're kind of they're storming a little bit, right?
Yeah.
They're finding their footing, and maybe there's a little complication going on in that camp. We'll see. I don't think they've looked horrendous. That for me was the worst performance I've seen.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe barring the first map against Obey, but. I honestly think that was probably the weaker.
Yeah, I think Obey played Bunker very, very well when they lost to them, so I'll give them that. But yeah, absolutely, the worst performance we've seen from Rated R so far. But can they bounce back here against RDamage on District? It's a map, as I said, we have not seen so far, so it's hard to predict which way this one will go. But if we are basing our predictions off map number 1, it was very, very difficult to say anything against RDamage, who looked fantastic there on Asylum. Just waiting for this final player to load on in. Hopefully that does happen. We'll get this one started fairly quickly. But yeah, RDamage. Surprising how well they've actually bounced back. I do believe we'll probably have to restart the lobby here, unfortunately. So you come back to our pretty little faces, and we'll maybe is he gonna load in? Oh, waiting. There he is,
making his way up.
Fashionably late.
Nothing new there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another thing as well, actually, is the little bit of a rivalry between Dragons and Cougars that we've seen in the past.
Yep.
That's an interesting fight that we've seen a lot. That Lucent versus Regal era that we saw back in Gears 4, and this is not the same teams by any means, but having two of these top Spanish players fighting it out, and also on the other side, top French players as well. There's a lot of rivalries going on, and I'm sure a lot of words to be said between both teams.
Yes, very continental Europe going on here, isn't it? Let's be set.
It is.
Sergio now just trying to back on things up here over towards the C side of things, but as said, it comes down to those big initials over towards B. But this Lancer fire from these two areas in blue and green, it's very hard to counteract, isn't it?
It is. They're pretty safe, to be honest with you. One of the easiest ways to actually get into those is from the opposite players, opposite team's spawn. So they are extremely safe places to get to. That jump up in the middle, it makes it hell to get up there. And they are placed strategically, so players have to jump up. They have to lock themselves in that animation to make these, these safe points basically contestable areas that you fight over and you really do have to secure.
It's going to come down to see if any of those flashes can be what helps these teams make this break over towards B. So it's now just having to defend his home hill as RDamage get very, very aggressive towards it. They're going to have to back on down here. Dov and Co will just about get out. Actually, he drops Zorkos, so he rolls forward, but gets caught out by Strikers, as will Toast. Sergio will drop them from afar, but it will not be enough. Surely C will go over towards RDamage now. They're getting aggressive over towards the side of things as well, and this is where this round will just open up. B should now be free roam for RDamage. This should be the domination coming through. I don't think if you're rated R, you want to even bother spawning in at this point. It should be done and dusted. It is RDamage once again with the stronger start.
It was a strong start. They slayed out. There was a couple of questionable fights there from rated R. Maybe backing up would have been the better solution, especially when they were losing their home hill. They could maybe have made over to that B hill a little bit quicker and supported their teammates there. But at the end of things, as we said, it's early doors. It's only the first round. RDamage, they did open strong. They opened how they finished the last game, right? They slayed out. And I'm looking at rated R to maybe try and do something a little different here. We saw last time both teams mixing things up in the middle. This time the teams they completely mimicked each other. We called it out at the beginning of Asylum. That's probably what we were going to see, and we did see that. We saw the drop shots. We saw those incendiaries go down, and probably more of the same to come here on District. These teams not really finding their own identity as such. They're kind of just following the trend at the moment, following the meta, and well, in the end, that is that drop shot, that is that incendiary, sometimes the boom shot.
Let's try and break the meta, boys. Come on. Throw a curveball, which is using baseball, by the way. Let's just cover that one again. Yeah, we're pretty sure, yeah.
We've Googled it at half time.
Don't try and come at me after you weren't sure how many rounds we played after we played 2.
You never know, right? It's definitely not on the scoreboard or anything.
No, it definitely isn't. No, we'll not talk about that either way. Down low here. Just waiting for the break to come through. I think it's one of those things where somebody wins one gunfight and the round suddenly bursts into life, and Physics is going to take Dov down here, who really is in no man's land. He should be cleaned up, but here comes the push from RDamage over towards to try and find that kill. Sergio is going to go down. The kills traded in RDamage's favour just momentarily. Cougars does find 2 down below, albeit it was just pretty much cleaning it up. He will get a hold of B as well as his push gets taken through. And now it's up to Toast. Has to defend here. Has to just back on up. He'll quite happily just try and stay alive here. The rest of his team coming up off spawn in just a second as well, and he's done enough to keep a hold of the home hill. Really nice stuff against Zorkos. Nice gunfight between those two. But ultimately, it comes down to RDamage. They now have C and B control. Rated R to try and get this one back.
Yeah, it's an understandable play there by RDamage, just to force the 1v1. If they win it, they're in a real good position. If they lose it, not really too much harm done. We'll see what happens in this B hill fight though. Dragons, he's going to get that decap. We do see RDamage lancering up from that overlook spot. You see Zorkos, he's sat, Cougars, he is sat up there, just lancering down, just peppering down. And now he has jumped down. He is going to try and fight out. He's going to get taken out. His teammates actually just left him, and that's because Leonard was behind them. Reader managed to take him out with a quick knife.
Zorkos now trying to make the push over towards B, but Dragons and Dov have done really well to stay alive in and around this area. Dragons will find Zorkos as well, and they've retaken this very nicely. The flash comes through. Reader's going to have to back off with his tail between his legs. Dragons is going to just about clean this one up with the help of his teammate. It's a really nice comeback from Rated R. Dragons now making the push up top, looking to finish the kill. Does finish the kill, and if you're RDamage now, you have to back on up and reevaluate the plan. You are in the lead, but 50 seconds to go and Swarm will win, and they're getting very aggressive over towards this C hill as well. Leonard will find a kill onto Zorkos. Sergio one on to Zorkos and one was onto Strikers, sorry, and the kill's just momentarily coming through for Rated R, who seem to have just flicked a switch yet in round number 2. Should be the domination coming through unless they can actually stop this one. It's not looking likely. That's going to be one apiece now. Nicely done by Rated R in the end. It was looking like RDamage. Yes, okay, they found the initial first middle hill capture onto B. They had it pretty well locked down. It just comes to a couple of gunfights, and Rated R keep rolling. Nicely done.
And they put RDamage in a very difficult situation there. When you're losing that home hill fight in that lower ground, and you know you've got players on the opposite team coming through those middle buildings, Info and Juice on the map there. You have to evaluate the situation. You have to decide how many players do I put down to that home hill to defend that fight? Because if you don't, you're going to get pincered, right? If you don't take that middle route as well, you're going to get pincered, and in that situation, you're going to lose. But if you don't put the right amount of numbers down there, you're losing that home hill anyway. So it really is a numbers game, and you really have to be careful about managing those players and managing those resources properly. because if you don't, you're going to lose the hill either way. It's got to be a perfect play. In that time, RDamage, they made the right choice. They had the right numbers in the right positions. They managed to strangle out Rated R, and they managed to get themselves a round up. Sorry, Rated R managed to strangle out RDamage, and well, that was round 1, 2.
Too many R's, man.
Too many R's.
Too many R's. Regal Strikers, though, and Cougars getting things done here. Around the seaside, that's a fantastic inside coming in, though. Dragons are going to take down Cougars, and he's yeeted that from the middle of the map by the looks of things, but Dragons will get taken down. Second gunfight, which way is it going to go? It's in the favour of Strikers once again. Really important gunfights to be winning. They already have B. It's a push towards C. For the first time, RDamage are looking to get aggressive like they were in the first map. Rated R, though, are going to answer this push. Nice work by Sergio and Dov, and they will just shut down that home hill push coming out of RDamage. But still, if you are RDamage, you do have a hold of B, but you have to be careful this home hill push coming in from Rated R.
That you do. You have to do indeed. Point advantage still in RDamage's favour as well, so not to worry there.
Oh dear.
No, that's not a good time to jump on board with Dov. Let's go elsewhere. As he gets taken out very, very quickly. Dragons opening up, managed to get a kill. Let's jump on board with him as he tries to fight for this second one. Flash is going to go out. Does get the stun now, and he's chasing up on Physics. Does get a little back A. He's going to get Lancet out, though. This might have been a bit too much, a bit overzealous. As he does get the damage down, but doesn't manage to get the kill in the end. Physics just doing enough to draw the attention away. Has the support of his teammates, and in the end, Dragons pays for it with his life. There's B Hill still in the favour of RDamage. 50 points, 60 points now on the clock there as well. Long way to come back for Rated R. They've got to make a move soon.
In a bad spot as well. RDamage very much in control of this one, and look how far they pushed up. They've got control of the blue side and the green side of things. It's just so easy for them to hold this down now. It's a very, very difficult push for Rated R. I'd imagine the push will probably come towards the home hill. It seems to be the easier one in this situation. Although us being able to see exactly where all the players are will obviously make that a bit more obvious. But kills coming in for RDamage now. They're 20 seconds away from running this round. And take something special out of Rated R as Reader just slows things down here. Strikers is the only one to drop from RDamage. 10 seconds to go. Rated R not looking like they'll be able to make this push. They will capture B, but it will not be enough unless they can win the fight over towards A. Let's transition over towards that just in case it does indeed happen. I tell you what, they're getting very aggressive through the middle of the map here. Rated R trying to get something done. The fight, though, is going in RDamage's favour. They will win the fights they need to. They will hold on to it, and they will find the round 2-1 now to RDamage. And that's a solid round from them, in all honesty. A bit more of that typical slower style that we maybe come to expect. Yep. And it's hard for Rated R to get aggressive, and even when they were trying to in the first map, they weren't winning these gunfights. So RDamage, if they can fall back into the playing slowly and win the rounds from that, they know they have it in their locket to play fast as well.
They do, and they can. They are one of those teams that can switch between those two methods very, very quickly. Kind of like EU's Finest in the same stance, right? They are very seasoned. They know when to pick their fights, and they also know when to back out of them. And that's what you don't get from Rated R. You get that fantastic slaying ability, but you don't quite get that holding back as much. And that just comes with veterancy, right? That comes with time. And once Rated R get that, they'll be an even scarier team, to be honest with you. That said, though, RDamage played that round well, as you said. They did manage to play it in that slower style. And we see them go 2-1 up for their efforts.
So it looked like a bit of a different weapon placement coming through from one side of things, actually. We'll wait until this gunfight does play out. Dov getting aggressive over towards Physics. It's going to take some Lancer fire from the mid, but
boom shots.
A boom shot instead of a boom shot and a drop shot.
Yeah.
So slightly different from the side of Rated R, who have the drop shot, and the other side of things, a boom shot for. Sorry, it was a boom shot for RDamage. Rated R were the ones that. You know what? I haven't got a clue. Other way around. I had it right the first time. Either way, the kills are going in RDamage's favour.
I don't even get kills with these weapons.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't seem to matter what they have in their hands. Who knows? Who knows who has what at this point through?
No one has anything. The round's over. We're done.
I think that round 13.
Let's block them off.
That round 13 between Obey and EU's Finest has fried my brain.
That's it. Brains are gone. It's all mush.
Seeing Hydra run through smoke and find 3 kills has just bewildered me beyond belief, and that is why I'm now speaking gobbledygook.
In tongues.
In tongues.
Yeah, well, you're right. I mean, I can't even tell the difference between two weapon icons at this point. So.
You know what? Sack us both.
That's it. Get Toby and Elle in here.
Get Toby and Elle in. Who knows if Elle's alive?
I think he is. He's not going to the London land this
Has he sent you your glasses yet?
Does he look like he has?
No, you're not wearing. You're not wearing. I know you. You've scooted on up there, pal.
You've had to move a 55-inch in it just so I could see. Oh dear. So let's take stock of what's actually happening.
Yeah, we've got a little bit, of course.
Boom shot on rated R side. Drop shot on the RDamage side.
Thank you.
They've both been halved to 75. And that's all we've got to worry about is 2 weapons, so we should be able to do this.
Thanks for clearing that up for me, Throw.
No problem. No problem.
Cheers, mate.
There we go. Oh, just bounces off the head.
Well, that's unfortunate from Rita. Not able to find anything with that there. And they will know that is now not available.
Boom.
Dov's going to push forward. The boom shot kill comes through. Very nicely done. Rated R haven't had much to shout about, in all honesty, and Rita is eventually going to get taken down by Dov. Second time of asking. But yeah, they haven't had much to shout about. It looks like they will get the push over towards B, but if you are RDamage, it looks like they are considering a home hill push, but here we go. They're going to start engaging in and around B. They're not going to allow Dov an easy capture. Has to be careful here. He's all on his own for now, just jumping around where he can, just trying to get something going. Finds one at the strikers. Can he find the second here as well? He's doing it all on his own. Can he get it done? Over towards B. He is going to get taken down by Physics. A big gunfight won. It felt like it was swinging in Dov's favor there, but he will eventually go down. They've lost C. They will lose B, but they have managed to capture A. So, a bit of a topsy-turvy turn of events in the past 30 seconds, but he nearly got things going there, Dov.
I honestly think that the only reason he didn't get the kill there is because he got lanced from afar. He made the right plays. He was dancing around there, and he had Physics numbers, but the support came in for RDamage, and that's what RDamage are about. They support their teammates. A trade comes in down. Dov just sat looking at the remains. Has that boom shot in hand. Doesn't want to lose that. Very, very close, actually. Just get taken down past 50% health, trying to get this decap, but he just can't afford to lose this boom shot, so he can't afford to waste his life here to get the decap. Got to be very, very careful.
Well, Dov in a similar situation once again, but the thing is here, his team are not getting any points on the board currently. Are they going to eventually capture B? Potentially. He's just going to trade places with his teammates who were weak. But they still haven't got anything on the board here. For all they found a couple of kills, they haven't been able to find the objective, and they're just getting forced away by the Lancer Fire of RDamage, who are looking to go up 4-1 here.
Well, if you look at the overhead, I mean, just on the info there, you see there is a little blue skull, and that's where RDamage was sat. They had both the info and the juice overlooks, and they just basically had the perfect cross there. You can't take B hill if your opponent is in both of those windows. They had to clean that out first, which is why Dov ended up going for that big push. Gets taken out there. They do trade that kill though, and they should be able to get this cap down eventually. Yeah, Sergio might lose his life for it though if he's not very careful.
That's the second time in a row that Toast has lost his life to a trade kill, so the Gears of War God's not quite with him this time round.
Not quite.
Lena trying to get something done, not going to quite happen. Strikers will find him. And it's a good position. Look, I mean, it's such a good spot. Juicer info are so great to have, and oh my god, he's going to actually get caught out on the jump. I'm not expecting Toast to come from there.
And he didn't trade either.
No, he didn't trade. Toast, he's done one better than the last 2 times either way. Looks like they are going to try and make a capture over towards B. Shooting your teammate will not help your situation here, Toast, it has to be said. But still, they have B, but they don't have much else. RDamage are out-rotating them when they need to. Look at the score difference as well. Cog to win in 20 seconds, and you have a feeling if that does go over towards a 2-cap towards rated R, the Swarm side will not be winning in any time soon. It still should be all RDamage. They will just need 1 cap. They are keeping a hold of C as best they can. They will lose the gunfights, but getting aggressive towards C works out in A's favor, doesn't it? It pushes them further away. It takes them longer to get in that position.
They are on it, though. They could get this. Sergio. He's fighting this out.
They've got far too aggressive. I can't believe it. What's going on here? If you are on RDamage, nowhere near it. You're in complete control of the round. And I cursed
just like that. Just like that.
I cursed them. I can't believe it.
What are you doing?
I know. I thought it was signed, sealed, delivered.
Well, it looked like it, right? But in the end, rated R, they make the right plays, and they're rewarded for their efforts.
RDamage screwed up there. I'm not gonna lie. They did. I mean, I respected the aggression over towards C, but in that case, you need other people on the map to at least be staying alive.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all good with you pushing the home hill and saying, right, okay, well, if we kill you here, then you really are pushed further back. But
you got to have someone defending your own.
You've got to have somebody playing that slow play.
And that's the issue. There is that they. Let's take it back. If you just put all your team members on your home hill, right, and you defend it and you lose that,
you win that.
Well, also if you lose it though, everyone's going to look at you and go, "What are you doing? Like, why don't you just play that like you would play the rest of the game? You know, make sure you've got people in a situation to take other hills, and don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? That was the complete opposite, right? They had too many people spread out. They were defending lanes that didn't need defending, and all they needed to do was just come back a little bit. They had people in juice, right? Just defending this no man's land in the middle. That's not helping at the point at which you need to defend your home hill, right?
You lose the important gunfights and suddenly you're in a bad spot.
You just roll back, sit with your team, and at that point you do need to slay it out. And talking to slay it out, RDamage, they've come back into it in this one.
Straight away, that's 3 men down for rated R. Striker's getting aggressive. And that's the thing with this map, though, Fru, is that you know, you make one big break, and it's not a very big map at all, is it? It at least doesn't feel it with the transitions that you can do as Strikers finds another 2, making his way over towards it. Can he clean up shop here? Sergio on his own. Strikers finds a 3rd. It's a beautiful kill. Go on, give him the 4th as well. Not quite. We're thinking of top 5 players. It might not matter. You might squeeze into it anyway with that. Nicely done by Strikers. 4-2 now to RDamage. And that could have been 5-1. Let's be honest.
Yep.
They'll be a bit disappointed not being in a better position at the halfway point. But the kills come through. We now change it up to the hills moving up towards ATM and Pergola, but we now will go to the other side of things as well, to the lower side. So a little bit of a different setup here now, but it is RDamage once again with the advantage. 4-2 up here, and map number 2 after winning map number 1 in such convincing fashion. Can they close this one out quickly as well? It's feeling like they might.
They're definitely tempting it, aren't they? They're 40 up at the half. They're looking pretty good in these opening fights, and they are making the majority of the decisions correctly, so that's good to see. Lots of trading out here. Reader's going to jump in. Sergio picks up 2 actually for his troubles down there, and Swarm looks like they're going to eliminate if no one can respawn. Nope, that's going to be 4-3. This is a super quick round again. You cursed them. 32 seconds in, and rated R, they're on the 3rd round now.
I'm just jinxing RDamage as we go.
Second map fever. It could be getting to that 13 round.
Second map fever, like Saturday night.
Yeah. Basically. They get to this map 2, everyone wants to just party, and we go to that round 13 and we dance it out.
I've got visions of you in a suit like
maybe
like Travolta. Oh god.
Yeah,
we've lost the plot.
If this is all tied up at 6 weeks in, that's what you might get at the end of it all.
Oh, a dance off.
A dance off.
Oh god.
We'll see. Oh dear god.
Oh,
4-3. The score.
We're 3 weeks in, we've lost the plot. Here we are.
Oh my lord.
It was all going so well.
It was.
Strikers is going to go down initially anyway, just for maybe a little sit down. And where these initial gunfights are going to go. So nice by Dove. He's going to take down Zorkos, and here comes the aggression for him rated R. Maybe it is their turn to find some rounds under their belt here. They really haven't had anything going. They will get a hold of E. They are actually going to get a hold of F here as well. They're going to dominate in a few seconds if something is not done by the Swarm side of things. The RDamage side of things. They go 4 apiece now. And that was very, very quick. Nicely done by rated R, and they're well and truly back in this game. And I think, you know, if you are RDamage, go back to thinking of that round where you were in complete control. I think it was round number 5. There would have been round number 6 because they would have been 5-1 up, wouldn't they, at one point? But then they lose that round. Then they've lost 2 in a row, and now suddenly it's 4-4. Could have been a very different game.
Could have been. It maybe should have been as well as we look back at it. A bit of a difference coming in here. Shot grenades on one side, incendiaries on the other. So RDamage is going to be stocking up with those incendiaries. The bigger power weapon is back online as well. So the boom shot over there and the drop shot.
And they were really going in the favour of RDamage, it has to be said. The rounds while they were in play seemed to just be trickling towards RDamage, if you like. Rated R getting back into things since these power weapons have not been such an issue. That'll be a good drop shot. Nicely done by Reader. Predicts the play, and he is going to help out his team get a hold of E here. You would feel Dragons is going to get pushed back, although that shot grenade will slow things down momentarily, so he might save his team their bullishes around this site. Strikers run around and shooting the wall, checking if somebody was there.
Yeah, I think that's
what it was. It looks bizarre from this angle, let's be honest.
You know the intention. Zorkos, that's the boom shot out of play as well. That was perfect. Didn't know he was there. I mean, that was a perfect. What's he doing?
What's gone on?
Just run straight into the fire. Physics is on fire now as well. Sergio's on fire. Get out the fire. What are you doing?
It burns. It burns. No wonder EU's finest are smoking you all now. Come on.
Burning yourself. Zorkos picks up another. It was a fantastic incendiary by Zorkos. I'm not sure what everyone else was doing after that, but it was a fantastic one to take out that boom shot. And just relieve pressure on the E hill. Obviously, the cap there has gone in their favor. F is also getting contested here. Strikers is going to pick up one. Looking for his second. Has got that crossfire from his team.
Should be able to get here in time. Only going to force them away. Strikers is going to go down to Dove, and the push is going to come through. It's absolute carnage inside of F. It's going to be Leonard. Can he find one more from Leonard? He needs to. If he can, he's going to take down Cougars. Zorkos goes down. Very nicely done by Leonard, and they will go on
just
to
like
win the round through an elimination. It was looking like an RDamage domination.
It should have been.
And they stepped out of the ring. Aggressive.
Strikers stepped out of the ring to get the revival. And that's what cost them the domination. And
then they get eliminated.
And then Leonard comes in and gets a quad. Just like
God's
that.
Sake.
What fantastic. It is. It's that second man. I tell you, they go all the way.
You could either call that run fantastic or really stupid.
It was fantastic to watch. It was
very dumb.
I'm not going to say stupid, but it wasn't optimally played. But yeah, it was. It was exciting. That's for sure. Can't believe that quad kill just to flip the round on its head, just quick as they come.
That's the thing when the boom shot spawns that close to your spawn, you're looking pretty tasty in that sort of position. Striker's getting very aggressive though. RDamage trying to get a hold of something. He is going to find Leonard now with that drop shot, and he will go down. Really nice play out of Strikers. I think he just caught him off guard. Physics is he's going to kill his teammate who was already down with the drop shot. Through what's going on? Come on. And maybe it is Toby playing.
Leave me alone.
Maybe it is Toby playing. Who knows?
To be fair, that
yeah, it was tough. He was really already quite weak.
Yeah, that boom shot. I think Physics he'd want that shot again. To be honest, he shouldn't have killed his teammate there. You saw him actually go for the revive after he shot it, and I don't think he expected it to kill him. So we'll give him that one back. We'll see how he does with the next one.
Well, Physics gonna have to try and defend this side of things. Over towards E, he's going to lose the gunfight, as is Strikers, who will go down. So RDamage very much in this round still. Trying to decap E, and they just about should here. The fight's going in their favor as well. Everybody but Zorkos down, actually, who's going to have to defend here. He's probably won a couple of gunfights. Flash is going to come through. He may well just get dropped. He does get dropped. This could be a domination coming in for RDamage. This could be 6-4. Physics might just save their blushes. Has won one gunfight, as has Strikers. RDamage, don't let it happen again. No, don't let these kills come swinging through. They do not make that mistake. Thumbs up from RDamage. 6-4 now. Are we going to see a map number 3 here through?
Could be the first one of the pro circuit.
It could indeed.
It'd be just like it to see that come through after what we said. Oh yeah, the first team wins the second one every time. The first winner wins the second one.
You know what? I've been cursing RDamage. You've been cursing RDamage.
That's true. That's true. Yes, it's our fault.
Drop shot placed on the other side of things for them, so it is pretty even across the board here. Drop shot v boom shot, boom shot v drop shot. Boom shot now halved, of course, as said.
Everything at 75 seconds. This makes this map extremely explosive, extremely exciting. Well, this is why we're seeing a lot of these, going back to realism, this is why we are seeing a lot of these team kills, right? Is because all of the weapons on the map, they're all, super high caliber. They're explosive. They do a lot of damage. They have area of effect damage as well, and there's no surprise team kills are coming out when all the teams are fighting at such a pace.
Scale is going to go over towards Sergio. It feels like RDamage very much getting back into this game, and he's going to find a second as well. Sergio really starting to turn up. We said he had to put game number 1. He's been all but different here in the second map. Swarm domination may actually come through here. A couple of kills have just about went in RDamage's favor. Not quite sure what that drop shot was from Physics. He may have just denied the inevitable though, as the domination may come through. It has to be a push from Strikers. He has to get in. He does. Dov's actually going to get taken down by his teammate as well. So Strikers allows his team to potentially get back into this round. Not long has gone by, so the points deficit is not that great, and they will be in control of the map. That could have been very, very different there, Fru.
It really could have. There's so many things that just went wrong for all of the teams there. A missed drop shot, a team kill. Players not really on the same boat. I think, so far this has got to be the scrappiest map of the pro circuit, that's for sure.
100%.
It's definitely not the prettiest, but it has been a very exciting one so far. And well, RDamage, they're on this match point. They're about to try and they're trying to force it to this game 3. Second series of power weapons coming out now. Almost everyone on the map has one. This is how dangerous it's getting. Redefines that kill on Sergio. Some good crossfire by Strikers there to help him out. But it's about these power weapons. Toast has found one. We see Physics, he's pushed up a little bit. May get drop shotted out here. The drop shot just coming, it connects, but not completely. 36% health is on the board for Physics. He's going to heal up. Does manage to get the drop shot, the boom shot, sorry, connected this time around. Toast picks up his second though, and now RDamage still on the back foot. They've got to fight this out.
Dragon's not in too bad of a spot. He's got the right-hand side cover. He is going to get taken down, but if you're Cougars, you get far too aggressive there. Physics is going to get pushed out. He is going to get taken down as well. Will just about escape with his life for the third time. Lucky eventually does survive. But the damage is done. Rated on now in control of E. Looking to try and close this one out. They will do in 50 seconds with this current scenario here, Fruit.
Yep, and they're just going to try and stop people dropping down off here. Great little back shot there from Sergio as he takes out Strikers, and that's a key member to take out here. If they can get another down, they might have just confirmed this for themselves.
Leonard takes down Dov, though, who has now been cleaned up. He is going to take down Reader as well, though. A lot of bodies on the floor here as Sergio is down as well. He should be getting taken down. This is RDamage now in a good spot.
One more alive. Dov just managed to spawn up, though, so if they can get the kill on Toast, they might be able to clean this up.
Will they have enough time here to win off a 2 cap, though? Yes, they will. 39 seconds, so it's about a 10-second difference.
They might not even get it here. Strikers, he's going to try and dominate in just a second. Let's find out where the fight is. The fight is over at this home hill. Dragons, he's managed to pick up one, and the boom shot is wasted, actually. They just go down. Physics comes in with a triple. He just get a kill on his own teammate, but it doesn't really matter right now. Cog, they're going to dominate in just 4 seconds. If they can get this cap in, they're going to get this 5th round. They are going to solidify that 5th round now. 6-5 now. Rated R. They're still on that match point, but, well, RDamage, they're not going out without trying.
Well, we talk about these map number 2s. It's been interesting, it has to be said. The second map on every single series has been crazy so far. But which way is this one going to go for?
I don't know. I'm not sure why you're asking me. I know I'm here to give that insight, but at this point, it's honestly, it's whoever makes the least mistakes.
I'm asking you because it's your job, mate. You should know the answer to these questions. You're the analyst here.
I can predict when there's some suitable statistics to go on, but right now. There is none. It's whoever doesn't get the most team kills. It's whoever doesn't boom shot their own feet.
whoever doesn't completely screw up.
Whoever doesn't run into an incendiary, right? Like at this point, the both teams they're obviously on edge. They're obviously playing to the peak of their ability, and they're pushing that limit, and that's why they're making these mistakes. And we are seeing mistakes made, but you've got to try and neutralize those mistakes. That's your job as part of being on one of these teams, is to try and not make as many mistakes as the other team, to be honest with you, because that's where the other team picks it apart. Right now, it's pretty even, right? Both teams slowing down a bit. It's kind of interesting to see that, Rated R, they're not flying towards this E-hill anymore. They are slowing down. They are going to try and make this play with this drop shot, and, well, that one's missed.
Has indeed. Now the push comes through onto Zorkos, and he's able to clean up Sergio. Can he find the second as well? He doesn't need to. Physics is there with the boom. They should now capture E, and actually they're getting very aggressive over towards D. They've got a teammate behind them already capturing E. They have to be careful of the extension coming from the Rated R side. RDamage, though, are in a really good position. They are going to lose Strikers, but they have 2 hills. And they will be taking up that victory now. The win condition will come up very, very shortly.
Dragon's got the boom shot, though.
Oh, can he do anything with it? He takes quite a bit of Lancer Fire there and has to back on down. Takes some more. Backs on down again, but the rest of his team do now push forward. Sergio is going to find a kill onto Physics. Dragons are looking to get aggressive down this left-hand side. They are going to decap E, expecting the push to come through from Zorkos. Doesn't really want to have to waste the boom if he doesn't need to. The kill's coming through for Rated R here. I expect him to get aggressive over towards F. Or at least set themselves up. Cougars in a good spot to maybe slow that down. Leonard kills Dov again, and Cougars will take him down. Dragons making a push over towards this now. Is going to find Physics, but will be pushed away. So RDamage just about to survive. Reda's going to find the kill on the Dragons as well. Strikers kills himself when he was on the floor, of course, but what is actually going on in this round for...
Well, what is going on this round is that Leonard, when he downed his own teammate, he saved Cougar's life. Cougars, he was still up right at the end of that play, and because he was still up, he forced onto the opposition home hill, and he just created havoc out there. He was on Rated R's home hill. They had to go back and deal with it, and if they'd have managed to clean up that kill, they may have been in a much better situation here. Great kill by Dov there with that boom shot.
An important kill as well.
It is an important kill, and sadly, that's on the back foot, right? They're defending right now. They could have been on the offense if they'd have just managed to pick up that kill on Cougars. Cougars did well to stay alive.
Oh, the drop shot comes through. It's not going to connect on anything at E. But that's decapped currently. It's still a swarm win condition. And this will be to close it out for Rated R. If it stays this way, he should be captured very, very shortly by RDamage. They can't quite get it. So close to getting a hold of it there. They're just waiting to try and push this Lancer Fire away.
They've got a few seconds to get it. If they get it, it switches.
Swarm still win off one. They've got to make the push. It must be so close.
It is. It's a second in it. They just didn't get it just in time. And Swarm, they're going to win. They need the decap on D. You can see the push coming up now. Sergio gets one with this boom shot. Rated R looking to lock in this first map of the series. Strikers trying his best to get through. Toast takes out Dov. Toast takes out Strikers, though. Toast, is he going to take out the remaining member? It is Physics. Are they going to be able to get the decap right on the end? I think they might be. I think this might be RDamage. They might be able to force this to a round 13 cog.
They might have done it. They've done it.
We're going to a round 13.
Of course we are.
I told you. Second map fever, we're in.
Well, you need to stop saying stuff with fever in it, honestly. Imagine, another team kill, man. Come on.
Two. It wasn't even just. It was the down on Cougar. It was the down on Dov when he was fighting Cougars. Yep. And then right at the end, Toast taking his own teammate out as well. What is going on? And if they lose this now, Rated R, they're going to be kicking themselves. They were so far ahead.
If they lose this now, Rated R's confidence is evaporating into the Shadow Realm at this point.
Yep.
RDamage coming back into this one. It was 6-4 to Rated R. They seemingly want to throw it. So RDamage now in the ascendancy, you feel.
And everything's on the map now. They've got the utility grenades on both sides.
All right.
Everything's brought down to 75 seconds apiece, and this round's going to get spicy. Let's go.
Okay. Which way does this one go then? Let us know in the chat. Who do you think's going to take this one away? The push comes through. It's a fairly standard setup across the map. It's going to come down to who uses these power weapons better. And then now set up with the drop shot. He's going to see his Strikers coming behind, but he can't fire it because Sergio's already there. It's a good push, but the shot comes through only with the hit marker. So RDamage survived the initial push, and Leonard has to back on down. He does have a teammate with him. Reader now, what can he do with this drop shot on the RDamage side of things? Being very, very careful. He knows that Rated R's are being wasted. That's a good shot over towards. Has to be careful not to find Strikers. What way is that kill going to go? Not too sure. Physics is going to find Leonard, and Dragons is going to take down Strikers. Physics will find the kill, though, and get his teammate up.
Looking for his third.
Dov's going to find two, though. He's going to clean them up yet. And that's 2 kills going to go down. Dov should be able to get a hold of E here.
Everyone's on such quick respawns, though. You know, as soon as they die, they're basically back up. They're back in the fight again. You can see it on the cards on the left and right. We are going to see Regal Dragons. He's going to take down to 1 respawn, so keep an eye on that. On the other side, everyone looks to be pretty healthy. Sergio, actually, he's on 1 as well. Big fight there. Reader takes out Dragons. Looking for his second. He doesn't manage to get him, but he does get some damage down. Keeping his life up.
They got a hold of E, though. So RDamage in control currently. If you're Rated R, you maybe wait for these power weapons to come up once again. They will be coming up shortly. And immediately, actually, is the boom shot. And mate, honestly, I'm a Gears caster now. Dragons setting himself up to try and get a hold of E here. Rated R to try and come back in this round after being in control seemingly for the past few rounds. And they're just waiting for one moment to try and take. That's all it's going to come down to. Keep an eye on these power weapons, of course. As said, though, RDamage do have these as well. But it's up to RDamage. Are they going to use them reactively when Rated R make the push, or proactively to try and shut them down before they get a chance? Toast is going to find a kill, as is Physics with the boom shot. So 1 apiece. Here comes the drop shot. Physics is going to survive. Strikers finds 1 onto Leonard and a second onto Dov, but Sergio finds the kill onto Physics. It's not going to really give much over towards Rated R because he's going to be pushed from the other end. Sergio should be dead momentarily, and it's a good defensive hold. Strikers finds 2. And it's going to be 20 seconds until RDamage take this one 2-0. We're never seeing a map 3 in the EU Pro League here, Fru. I'm convinced.
What a comeback from RDamage. If they do manage to lock this in, this will be huge.
They've thrown rounds before.
They've thrown rounds before. But I don't think from this situation, 8 seconds on the clock now, 5 seconds as RDamage look to put their stamp on it.
It should surely be it. RDamage come back 7-6 after being 6-4 down 3 rounds in a row to take the series 2-0. And that was a quick series. In all honesty, and I want to say thank you to the teams. Maybe not for some of the quality at times, because there were some mistakes. Don't get me wrong, but for how they played the game and how aggressive they were getting to each other, it made it very, very entertaining. Irrelevant of the Saturday Night Fever references, we'll try and get them out of the way for next week. But at the same time,
that's because you're replacing me, right?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I don't know what I don't know what Toby or Elliot are going to bring to the table in terms of pop culture references, but we'll find out when that happens. Either way, concentrate on the game. Is that what a performance by RDamage? We needed to see that bounce back from them after a good start and a really poor performance against EU's finest. That was much more like it. But if you're rated R, it's honestly, I know I said after 3 games, after everybody plays everybody, we'll probably have a better lay of the land.
Do we?
Outside of EU's finest, looking a lot better. I don't know if we do.
I don't know if we do.
I think that we said at the beginning of it, we thought EU's finest were probably going to dominate, and then it's going to be a toss-up between the other 3. That actually seems to be the case now. After weeks 1 and 2, we honestly weren't sure which way this one was going to go, but this is how the series did play out. A very, very good one from RDamage, 72 on Asylum, 7-6 on District, with 3 rounds in a row to close it out. It's still really up in the air for me. I know these teams all play each other again. Every single game has been 2-0, but there's been some very, very close maps in the first round of games. And honestly, I don't know who finished second. For me, I absolutely believe, after some of the performances from EU's finest, I absolutely believe that we do see them top. Let's have a look at those Pro League standings, though, after everybody has played everybody once. And it is EU's finest sitting at the top, just about, by the way, on round difference by 2 over RDamage, who just about win that one up against rated R. There's going to be Obey Alliance sitting down at the bottom after a couple of hard losses on some maps. That's what's sending them all the way down there, but
it's so difficult, isn't it? For rated R.
I mean, look, at this point, these teams all have to play each other once more again. So I don't think anybody will be looking at these standings and think, we're done and dusted. We're in a really bad spot for relegation. But through halfway point of the first quarter, what do we think? And what is the lay of the land? Tell me, please, because I don't.
Honestly, after the past 2 weeks, I kind of disagree with the scoreboard. I would put rated R at the bottom.
3 weeks, mate.
3 weeks. Did I say 2 weeks?
You did.
Send me up.
He's done it again.
I'm so sorry.
It's a good job we're replacing you next week.
3 weeks. After 3... Jeez.
Continue your point.
No one would have noticed that if you hadn't said it. After 3 weeks... I can't remember what I was saying now. After 3 weeks, I would have put rated R honestly at the bottom. Yeah. Because they looked great first week, but EU's finest also didn't look great. After that, they've had these close games, and they've just not had the bottle to close it out.
I think if you put EU's finest now up against rated R...
They slaughter them.
Yeah.
And I guess that's maybe what we. I don't know if it's a repeat of the games again, but that might be what we see next week. I'll have to check.
I'm not 100% sure.
We'll have to check the schedule on that one. But if it is, then definitely they beat them, because they just look deflated at the moment, and there's obviously they're not playing the same game as they did that first week. So yeah, I would put them at the bottom. Obey and RDamage still a bit of a toss up, but given how well RDamage played against Obey and how easily they beat them.
But then we've seen Obey look a lot better since that first game.
But I also think RDamage are also improving.
Yeah.
And I think RDamage are actually looking like that second place team right now.
RDamage just can't play against EU's finest.
That's the problem. That is it, right? And the day they find the ability to play against, EU's finest, that is the day that they shoot up into that top 4 of the global scene. I would say they're just missing that little X factor. I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. They just seem to have a curse.
Well, if they find out, please let us know, because EU's finest look really hard to beat at the moment. Obey Alliance came so close to doing it, and it just took that little bit of magic from EU's finest. We talk about their all-round game, but they have players like Hydron who can do things like what he did. Insane. That has to be number 1 player. I'm gonna Hydron, if you're still watching, let's try and get that clip off you so I can put it in the top 5 players, mate. Because phenomenal play out of him. EU's finest back on track, looking more like the team we fully expected them to be through every single week. On the other side of things, though, it's really all to play for, in all honesty. Yes, RDamage... all teams have had their moments over the first 3 games that they've played, where they've all looked really, really good, but then there's just inconsistencies. Yes. I think if anyone's going to be starting to be consistent, you feel as if it's going to be RDamage.
They look the most consistent.
It could be Obey. Obey pushed the EU's finest to that 7-6 as well. If they potentially take that map, then things could be a little bit different. I think we've still got a lot of questions to answer.
We've got 3 fantastic weeks coming up ahead of us, I think.
It'll make for a good Christmas. Anyway, we will close that one out. Another 2 great games here in Europe. Thank you very much for watching. If you missed any of those, we will have those VODs up. Follow us on Twitter at EGL. Follow myself and Frew as well while you're at it, and come chat to us about the games. Fantastic set of first 3. And yeah, a great time to be a Gears fan here in Europe. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. And we'll see you guys next week.